So welcome back, everybody. Got another early morning out here on the property. I've got some loads of rock that are coming soon, so hopefully we can get this driveway, get some gravel down. So we got to get to it. First load down. Pretty light up here up front since there's already a decent enough base, or a pretty decent base, so not too heavy up here. We'll just smooth it out. Oh, I'm getting so excited here. So get this first turn up here. Nice sweep. We're gonna get all this nice and compacted. The entrance to our driveway is now rocked and compacted. Got a few spots I'm going to show you here, but I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. First area that I want to cover is here's the entrance. Show you a few things that it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So first is their shared driveway with our neighbor. Our neighbor is underneath construction right now on their property, so this entrance is getting used by some trucks and some heavy machinery. Whenever I showed up today, there were some tracks in the gravel, so it doesn't surprise me. So I didn't want to take too much time to box it out again and get it perfectly smooth, because it's most likely it's going to get driven over by our neighbors and also by us as we start getting more stuff in here. But we do have a good solid first base layer. The next area of note is, we've got a decent sweep, but the next area is right up in here. We had a little bit of a soft spot as the truck was driving through, dropping off the rock and tailgating. The earth did a little bit of pumping since the clay was still a little bit damp there. So I definitely am going to need to get an extra few inches of rock here soon. But this is probably one of the worst spots right here. So in the previous video, as I was finishing up the grading on this and dropping the rock, it was kind of hard to see some of the crown and a little bit of the slope. Hopefully it's a little bit easier to see. So got our drain over here, and we do have a little bit of a crown. I didn't get as much in there as I was wanting, simply because we have quite a bit of bedrock or large boulders and rock along the right hand side here as we drive up, or as we head up this way. So I was only able to cut it down so far, but I think that there's plenty enough slope and crown that'll allow the water to channel all the way down over to the drain. Also, it's not, I don't have a solid or good consistent width. There's up here along at this little hump. It's kind of hard to make out, but it's a little bit of a hump. Probably going to take down this tree right here, but the width, it's a little narrower than I particularly would like it. Didn't get the stone spread as wide as I would have liked, but we were able to spread it back out as we get up to the top of the hill. This right here, this is the high point in our driveway. This is my target. Kind of breaking up our driveway into phases. We have first phase going down to the driveway entrance, coming up here, up to the top. Man, that looks so good. And then we have the next phase, which is heading down just into the creek bed, over the culvert, and then up to our clearing, which we'll get there a little bit later on. Back up there. So front half, just over half of the driveway is done. I'd say that's about 350 feet that we now have at least 4 to 6 inches of rock. A few places we need to get a few more inches, but it's so good. Some of you may be wondering what's going to happen here along the side. You know, we got a lot of extra dirt that from whenever we cut in, we pushed over just a bit. So I'm going to be coming back as a later phase in the driveway build. I'm going to take and I'm going to dress this up, take and scoop and transfer some of this. Got a place that I want to use it, so I'm not too terribly worried about it at the moment. But as you can see, got a fair amount here, and got a couple smaller trees I want to take down here, and like say this guy right here, I'm going to take this guy down so that way I can widen it out a little bit more. I thought I had a little more width there, but ooh, this looks good. Well, let me rephrase that. I think it looks good for a DIY or a homeowner project, coming in and doing it himself with, you know, renting a big piece of machinery to help dig out the big stuff, and using this tractor for probably, I'd say, 75% of it. Okay. Thanks for joining us today. Super excited to be ready to move on to the next phase. We've got a couple other projects before we probably finish up the back of the driveway leading up to the clearing, but we get to it